Hello everyone, Kayla here, and this is What the Kink, a natural hair channel where I share my personal hair journey and tips, tricks, and product reviews to help you with your own. Welcome to Curlsmith Month. Someone told me they searched my channel and they could not find any Curlsmith videos, and that's because none existed, sis. So I will be creating some Curlsmith videos this month for you guys. Also, we are starting a deep conditioner video not in the shower because I realized all the things that I want to say about these conditioners, and when I thought about it, I said there is no way that I could stand in the shower with dripping hair waiting to put this conditioner in while I was talking. So that's why we are here. So let me tell you what conditioners we are talking about today. We are talking about the Curlsmith Double Cream Deep Quencher from their Moisture recipe. And then we have the Hydro Cream Soothing Mats from their Scalp recipe. Prior to the release of their third line, which is the strengthening line with the purple labels, these were the two options that you had when you logged on to their website. And the Moisture recipe is telling you that it is for dry and dull hair, and it's going to provide ultra moisture and enhance and revive, while the Scalp recipe is telling you that it's for all hair types and that it's going to balance, restore, and provide intense hydration. Now, typically whenever there are different products or different lines from the same brand, they usually have kind of a similar formulation, and then they may tweak a thing or two, or throw out an extract or something. But that is not the case with these Curlsmith masks at all. Okay, they have completely unique formulations, and I really wanted to kind of dive into that with you guys. So when you look at the ingredients list, let's look at the Double Cream Deep Quencher first. So at the top, you have like typical conditioner type ingredients. You've got water, cetyl alcohol, bihydramonium chloride, propanediol, hydroxypropyl starch phosphate, cetyl esters, and then it says fragrance. So fragrance is right after those typical conditioner ingredients. And then it goes into a couple of extracts. And then it has several different oils, and in addition with some aloe vera leaf juice. There's like maybe 3 or 4 different oils. I don't know. Yeah, there's apricot oil, avocado oil. There's andiroba seed oil. And I feel like I'm missing one of the oils. So it's not really heavy on the extracts, but it does have quite a few oils. And then it has shea butter, but shea butter is like in the last third of the ingredients. And then it goes into more like preservative type ingredients. Now they went completely different with the Scalp recipe. Okay, if I remember correctly, for the ingredients, there are no oils in this one at all, like none. Okay, shea butter is still in there in that bottom third, but here's what they did on this one. They did the typical conditioner ingredients at the top with the water, cetyl alcohol, propanediol, bihydramonium chloride, and then something the hydroxypropyl starch phosphate, cetyl esters, and then they go into a bunch of extracts. Like this one right here has a lot of extracts, and I wonder about that decision to do that, because this is the Scalp recipe, and I would think if someone is like maybe going for this line, maybe because they have a sensitive scalp, and extracts can be kind of irritating to some people. It just depends. I don't know, honey, but it's a bunch of extracts. The whole second, third, 2/3 down the ingredients list is dedicated to extracts. And then you get into the shea butter, and then after that you got glycerin, panthenol, and then it goes into like preservative type ingredients. Fragrance is dead last on this one, so I have a feeling that they probably put that fragrance dead last because of all the extracts that were up in there. So in summary on this one, the one for the dry dull hair, the hair that really needs it, this one has several oils, very few extracts, shea butter down at the very, very bottom, fragrance up at the top. This one for all hair types, no oils, tons of extracts, fragrance dead last, okay? And then of course the same shea butter a third down in the ingredients. So neither one of them are relying on the shea butter. So I don't think either one of these are gonna be super heavy. However, I do think that this one, the Moisture recipe, I think is going to have a little bit more of a heavier feeling, slightly heavier, just because it does have several different oils in the formulation. So they really went really different with the formulation of these. They also do have a slightly different price. One of these is $28, one of these is $29. So So you are paying for these 8-ounce products, you are paying well over $3 per ounce. So they are not cheap in any way, sense, or form. Let me tell you, how much money you intend to spend is how much money you intend to spend, and I ain't here to judge nobody or no company, because somebody is paying this price and somebody will pay this price. Everything ain't for everybody, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and get the scents in too. That's something I typically do with these deep conditioner videos while I'm putting it in my hair, but you know what? We're gonna do it here because I'm already here and I'm on camera. So there is a sealing in here, if you can see, and I gotta pull it. So this is the Double Cream Deep Quencher, the one for the dry, dull hair. I smelled this scent before. It smells like, you know what? The In Shower Style Setter. That's what this smells like. And I think In Shower Style Setter smells like Mr. Bubble. So, and it's really whipped. Ooh. It almost looks like something you could eat. I might get rid of these plastic liners, depends. By the time I film the next part of this video, I might have tossed that. Smells like Mr. Bubble. A Scalp Recipe, I don't own anything from Scalp Recipe, so I'm expecting this to be an unfamiliar scent. Also, Whipped to the Gods, it looks similar to the other one inside of here, and the scent, I like this. Y'all, it's like perfume, fruit, but tart. I'm not a perfume girl, so I'm not really good at describing it, but it's a perfume that's not powdery and not old lady. It's a tart perfume scent is what I would say that this is. That's very interesting. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see it coming. I don't know, when something says Scalp Recipe, I'm expecting it to smell like, I don't know, tea tree oil or something. I don't. That's my expectation. So what we're gonna do is we are going to finally make it over to the lab, as I call it sometimes, and we will talk about the application of these, what do they feel like going on the hair, the directions for after you put it on your hair, and then also getting into how do these things detangle? Like, what's the deal with that? Because you know, I gotta be able to detangle my hair with the product. So let me talk about application, okay? Both of these are thicker than they appear in that container. The way they were whipped together, it was so smooth that I was just sure that it was going to be not as thick. But I scooped into first the Moisture Recipe, the orange, and I was like, okay, it's super thick. But the Scalp Recipe doesn't appear as thick to me. It looks like it might be slightly less thick, but no, that one is thick too. So they are both very thick. I highly recommend that when you go to put them in your hair, rub the product between your hands to get even a shot on a better application. And then second thing you need to do is have some water on hand. Have some water to put in your hair so that you can get this product through, because it is thick. So I went ahead and started detangling with the Scalp Recipe side. As you guys saw, it finger detangled pretty well if you were paying attention while I was talking. I know, distraction. After I finger detangle, I do a tool, of course. We're coming in with the Denman here. Check out my video on this brush, as well as another brush I like to use. All right, and it's detangling through very well. And I think though, if you apply this super thickly and you did not put water in it, I'm not sure if it would have the amount of slip that it does, because of how thick this bad boy is. Like, I was like, oh no, because there are sections where I didn't fully rub it between my hands because I was like, my hands were kind of busy. And I found that on those sections, the product kind of just sat there in the splat when I initially added it to my hair. All right, we're moving on to the other side. I did indeed clean my brush off and everything, so we're not getting a cross contamination, but this is the Moisture Recipe side. I feel like on this side, the product itself has a little bit more slip. And of course, as I told you guys, this one had all the oils and stuff in it. But, and I also feel it more so on my hands as I'm breaking through. There's more like product sticking to my hands. But I still stand by what I said about needing to rub it between your hands before you apply it, and also having water to smooth it through your hair, because it's still thick. You're still going to have that texture there. But yeah, I definitely feel this product more, and it definitely has a little bit more slip for the finger detangling, and I'm sure it'll be the same for the brush. Interestingly enough, when I brushed the other side, I felt like it kind of foamed up a little like some of my other conditioners do. But this one, as I'm brushing through my hair, it kind of is like staying on the hair, kind of like those kind of heavier daily moisturizers that people like to use. I don't feel like they're as popular anymore. Like, people don't really sell as many of them. But like hair dressings that people tend to put on their dry hair, it's giving me that texture as I was raking it through. So it's very, they're performing differently on the hair, but I'm not surprised because Curlsmith made it a point to formulate these two masks like completely different from each other. So now it tells you to leave it on for 15 minutes or so, and then 30 minutes if you're really trying to get it cracking. But it doesn't tell me to add heat, and so it takes me around 15 to 20 minutes to fully detangle my hair. So I'm just going to leave it on that amount of time without heat, and then come back and rinse, which is what I would do in my normal routine anyway, because I very rarely actually like deep condition my hair with heat and like get out of the shower. Like, ain't anybody got time for that. So, and my hair doesn't need that. So y'all get ready, because I'm telling you right now, when I have to do the summary for this video, there definitely is a difference between these two computers. There's definitely a difference between these two mask conditioners, especially with the rinse. There's a difference between these from top to bottom, honey. But anyway, let me get the rinse for the moisture line. All right, so it does rinse clean. There's not product and stuff in my hair because it's thick. You know, it rinses clean, but there is a slight coating on my hair, like I know that there was product there, and it does feel conditioned, obviously, because what is the point of conditioner even at all? So there we go. That is the rinse for this side. Now rinsing Scalp Recipe. Okay, Scalp Recipe. It too rinses clean. But I find that it doesn't feel like there's anything on my hair. It feels like my hair's been conditioned, and that's it, period. There's no product feeling on my hair. So that's the thing, it's a slightly cleaner rinse than the Moisture Recipe. All right, guys, so let me tell you what I think about these kind of in the final finale of situations here. So the Moisture Recipe definitely is thicker than it appears, okay? And 100%, you have to add water to it as you're distributing it, and you have to emulsify it in your hands as you're applying it, which it better be that thick and rich for the cost of it, right? So it's definitely giving you value for your money in that regard. Now the detangle, of course, it was a good detangle. It did the job, but I will say that it rinsed with a little bit of a product. And in fact, as I was detangling my hair, and I didn't have this earlier in the video, it definitely has a greasy feel. It felt greasy in my hair, and I'm not used to my hair having a grease type feeling on it. And so I just wasn't feeling that. I really wasn't. So if I'm gonna have to pick between these two conditioners, I'm not going for the Moisture Recipe because it was too much for my hair. Now on to the Scalp Recipe. The Scalp Recipe is intended for all hair types, and that might be why it was not greasy feeling and didn't include oils and things of that nature. So the scalp recipe is also very thick. You still need to have water. You still need to emulsify in your hands when you apply it, but it detangles through, not as much slip as the moisture recipe because it does not have the oils, but it still gets the job done. And it rinsed completely clean like a regular conditioner. There was no slight coating of like maybe there's an oil or something on my hair. So do they do what they're supposed to do? Did they appeal to the market that they're marketing towards? Absolutely. But for me and my hair, the scalp recipe is where it's at. Now, of course, this is the first Curlsmith video that I'm going to put up this month, so there's no other video for you to view just yet, so stay tuned, subscribe. I post videos every week and you'll be able to see that. But in the meantime, I'm going to link to my product review playlist because that might be of interest to you, and then I'll let YouTube recommend another video here. And I will talk to you guys in the next one.